Well, I did a video at the end of last week all about the ULEZ cameras and the fact that they could well be looking at a lot more than they really should be, i.e. schools, churches, hospitals, sensitive areas like people's houses, when they really should be concentrating on the roads. You made some very interesting remarks and comments, and I want to go through some of them now. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining me once again, and as always, I appreciate the support. Please continue to keep doing what you're doing. Make sure you're subscribed, the notification bell switched on, like the video, make comments, and if you feel the need, give it a share. Hell, share it everywhere. Well, this one's a comment read back video, as I said in the introduction. It was on a piece I did last week regarding what these ULEZ cameras are actually looking at. And we'll go through some of your feedback, see what you had to say. So here goes. Okay, start off. Bobo. As Britain becomes more and more a surveillance state, this doesn't surprise me at all. What does surprise me is the almost total lack of reprisals from a previously almost free country. Yeah, I mean, there's cameras going up everywhere, isn't there? Everywhere we look. And you're dead right about reprise. I mean, you've got the Blade Runners in London doing their thing at the moment. But in the main, we seem to just be putting up with this, don't we? Where's that British backbone gone? It's been eroded. Scary stuff. Cedric Worthington Broadaxe. Oh, I love that name. Quote, "The man who won't die for freedom is already a slave in his heart." With those immortal words in mind, I genuinely rejoice to see ever more courageous individuals taking direct action against the increasingly draconian tyranny our ruling caste is attempting to enforce on us. By that, I assume you mean people like the Blade Runners. Here's one. Speed cameras were used to video car occupants and feed into ANPR systems in the late 90s. People wondered how they were tracked. Police now use cameras on post to film the side of vehicles to get a picture of the driver and passenger to link to ANPR. It's true surveillance. They use them on the A55, A41, M53, M56 areas, and Wales has an awful lot of them. Well, you'll see the video I did previous to this one about Wales and the 20-mile-an-hour speed limits, and it all ties in, doesn't it? Military modeler Paul, I'm afraid it will be used for everything we do, not just car capture. I mean, you've got the cameras in place, and there's an awful lot of, you know, bad feeling about these, isn't there? And it's quite obvious why. People fear what's going to happen next. People fear, you know, how they're going to use these things afterwards. It's a mess. Rigor mortis, great name. Vote the people's enemy out of office. Vote reform. Well, this is the thing. We need political change in this country, don't we? The same old two just don't work anymore. Ersko, come on, Blade Runners. You have the public support. Don't stop. You're our voice. Well, they're saying they're not going to stop until every single last one of them is down. Michael Wheatland, if you believe or suspect you have been filmed, make a note of the time and location and fire a Freedom of Information letter requesting they delete your image under the Data Protection Act. If enough did this, it would mean the system would be totally overwhelmed. Blade Runner 2.0. Yeah, I've seen that suggestion before. Billy, we had cameras in our town, yet a woman was alone walking late at night and was dragged off. Oh my God. R-worded and killed, while somebody behind the camera did nothing to stop it. It's okay for them, not us. That's awful. Awful. That poor woman. Richard Kroll, over here in good old Australia, New South Wales, we have so many cameras. They have them on the motorways to enforce driving times for truck drivers. Good old speed cameras fixed to mobile. ANPR on highway patrol vehicles. They also have average speed cameras for tollways that most people don't know and are looking out for fixed cameras. They register your vehicle going into the toll, and when you leave it, it also registers. So if the time is quicker than the speed limit, they just send you a nice fine. There are also mobile phone cameras that a lot of people are fighting the charges, as the photos leave a lot to question. The issue is, if you're on hands-free, it automatically takes a photo of the interior of the vehicle, and it's up to an employee of the enforcer to decide if they're holding a phone. This opens up a lot of questions. That is a big minefield, that particular subject, isn't it? David Stutt, vote these people out. Vote Reform UK. It's our only chance of having a life. Steve Bird, 911. ULEZ cameras are the start of what's to come, in my opinion. You've previously spoken about everyone being monitored to a greater extent than we already are. Travel restrictions, energy use restrictions, travel restrictions, not even being able to eat real meals. It's all connected. Makes me happy that I'm old and hopefully won't be here. Please, God, keep up the good work, Andy. I intend to. Thank you. And it's a worry for people, genuinely. Cosmic Audio, these cameras and the connected hard-stroke software have the facial recognition capability and possible iris scanning ability. These cameras will be linked to a wider network that will manage social credit scores. This has to be stopped. Somebody sent me the specification of one of these cameras, actually, and they are fairly advanced with double lenses and all sorts of things. Chris, everyone, just stop what you're doing and boycott London. It's becoming an open prison. Feels like that, doesn't it? I mean, he came on, I think it was Twitter the other day, and said how safe London is and how open it is to young people. I just sat there and laughed. I mean, what planet is he on? Suzanne Williams, it's an invasion of privacy. Absolute criminal. How can they get away with it? Tim Wilde. Time to reject any attempts by the state to record our lives, and this includes cameras on self-service tills, right through to ULEZ. At some point, we sleepwalked into a surveillance society that's completely out of control. If it doesn't have our permission, then it should be removed. I bet the Blade Runners are costing those twats a fortune. Yeah, I've seen the cost of the cameras and the operations to replace them when they're taken down, and it is literally thousands of pounds this is costing every time. We'll leave it with that comment. Some wonderful feedback there, and you're all basically saying the same thing. Don't want it, invasion of privacy, take them down, goodbye. We can all see what's coming and where it's going, and it really is disturbing. Anyway, thanks again, folks. I'm off. I'll see you shortly with one more. Toodaloo.